The purpose of this video is to help you as a parent become more aware of some of the new ScreenTime features and controls that are available on student iPads. To do this, first go to Settings, ScreenTime, Turn on ScreenTime. This first pop-up is an introduction of what's possible. Since I'll be directing you through this process, go ahead and click Continue. Choose This is my child's iPad. In this first option, called Downtime, this represents a time that we don't want the iPad being used at all. So you can set the start and end times by tapping on the time and then adjusting the wheels until you get the time that you want. Then press Set Downtime. More time can be asked for later, but it will require your passcode and permission. I'll mention more about this later. From this next window, you can set daily time limits to all apps and categories, or specify which categories you wish to set limits on. You can tap on Show All Categories for more options. Scroll down, tap Set, and you can adjust the time just like we showed you before. And then Set App Limit. This last option is all about setting content and privacy restrictions. Though we have all of our iPads running through filtering and management software, you may wish to remove some of the options from even appearing in certain applications. You can always adjust these later, but by default, there are some that you may want to come back to and change later. Press Continue and create a passcode. This passcode is very important because this is the one that you will use to manage all of the ScreenTime settings. If you forget your passcode, we will not be able to help you restore this other than resetting the iPad completely, which will cause a loss in all data and content stored on the iPad. You have to enter the passcode twice. ScreenTime has now been enabled, and you'll be able to see reports of usage of this iPad when you return here again. You can always go back in to any of these settings and change or modify them, but it will require your passcode. As you can see, we can go back into the downtime settings we can go back into app limits and always add new limits here. You can also add other categories to previously determined limits by tapping on the limit, social networking in this case, then edit apps, and choose the new ones that you want. Then you click Add. You'll see the new categories added to this 30-minute limit. You can also customize days where these limits should or should not apply. The Always Allowed section will give you options to always allow certain apps, even during downtime. For example, if you want to restrict messages during downtime, tap the red minus symbol next to it, then remove, and confirm your choice. To add an app, just tap on the green plus icon next to it to add it to the list of allowed apps during downtime. Back to content and privacy restrictions. Tap this switch to turn it on. Now all of these apps should become available. Let's check out the allowed apps first. You can turn any of these built-in default apps on or off by tapping on their toggle switch. Going back, you can use location services to see which apps are using Wi-Fi geolocation to see where the iPad is being used. This can be helpful for some applications like Google Earth or Maps, but you can choose to turn these off as well. Going back, there are a lot of other apps that you can control and which we don't have time to cover all of in this video. However, just a little bit of exploring will get you caught up on available preference settings. One practice that I'd like to encourage is for parents to know the passcodes on all student accounts and devices. This option, right here, will make it so that your students cannot change the password to get into the iPad once it has been set. Hopefully, this brief overview of these screen time settings will give you more options to be able to understand and monitor how your child's iPad is being used, and open up opportunities to have meaningful discussions about why you may choose the restriction settings that you do. If you have any other questions regarding screen time, or if you have suggestions for future parent outreach videos, please contact the district office and we will be happy to get back in touch with you.